All right, welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a closer look at a stack of articles and notes you've shared with us, all focused on one really incredible building, Antwerp Central Station in Belgium.
It really is. It's got such an amazing history, much more complex, than just trains coming and going.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to really dig into these sources, pull out the key bits of information, and sort of uncover the surprising journey of this place.
Yeah, from a basic wooden shed.
Right, to this magnificent railway cathedral, and then surviving near demolition to become this cutting-edge modern hub. It's quite a story.
It really is, full of vision, grandeur, conflict, incredible engineering.
Okay, let's unpack this. Where do we start?
Well, if we go right back, it starts with Belgium being like pioneers in railway building in continental Europe. The sources mention the very first line outside Britain connected Brussels, Mechelen, and Antwerp way back in 1836.
And the station then? Nothing like today, I gather.
Not at all. Apparently just a modest wooden building, and it wasn't even in the thick of it, located outside the old city fortifications.
Near what's now Cunningen Astrid Plains. So quite different.
Exactly, but Antwerp was booming, the port was expanding like crazy, and that little wooden station just couldn't cope.
Right, especially with plans for a new international link.
Yeah, to the Netherlands. That was the trigger. So they needed something bigger, which they built around 1854-55.
Still not the grand monument we see now, though.
No, the big shift, the really ambitious vision that seems to come from King Leopold II.
Ah, okay. The sources highlight his role.
Definitely. He wanted a terminus station that truly reflected Antwerp's importance and, Belgian pride. A statement piece.
And that vision kicks off the main construction period, 1895 to 1905.
Precisely. This is when the masterpiece really takes shape.
Okay, so the sources bring in two key figures here. First, Louis de la Sensory, the architect for the main stone building.
And then Clement van Bogert, the engineer who did the just breathtaking iron and glass train shed.
De la Sensory's building, it's described as eclectic, right? Not just one style.
Yeah, it sounds like he was pulling from different places. You've got this neo-Renaissance grandeur, maybe hints of the Pantheon in Rome, but also mixed with Art Nouveau details, swirls and curves alongside the classical stuff.
A real mix, almost theatrical.
It is. And then, wow, Van Bogert's train shed. The scale is just immense.
The numbers are pretty staggering. 186 meters long.
66 wide, 43 meters high. Imagine building that with iron and glass back then.
It must have been a huge statement, a symbol of industrial power, technology.
Absolutely. And all that light pouring in. You can see why I got that nickname.
Railway Cathedral.
Railway Cathedral. It fits perfectly.
So when it opened in 1905, it was more than just a station.
Oh, much more.
Yeah.
The sources are clear. It was a symbol of Belgium's industrial might and, its colonial wealth, too.
The Congo Free State connection is mentioned.
It is, yeah. That prosperity was definitely part of the context for such opulence.
And the inside, just as grand.
Apparently so. Lots of talk about marble, intricate details, ornamentation everywhere. It was designed to impress, to showcase Belgium's status.
And it functioned as this key hub, not just domestically, but for international travel across Europe. Really boosted Antwerp's image.
Definitely cemented it as a cosmopolitan city. But that golden age didn't last forever. The world wars hit hard.
Yeah, the sources detail significant impact, especially from World War II.
V-2 rockets. Nasty business.
German ballistic missiles, right. And they caused major damage.
Significant damage, yeah. Apparently the main stone building held up structurally, which is pretty amazing.
But the train shed.
That magnificent iron framework took a real beating, suffered lasting distortions. And get this, some of those warps from the V2s are supposedly still visible today.
No way. Still there.
If you know where to look, apparently. After the war, they focused on repairs, trying to keep the historical look.
And they came up with a clever fix for the roof.
Right, because the warped structure couldn't take the weight of all that glass anymore. So they replaced some of it with polycarbonate sheets.
Ah, the plastic stuff. Much lighter.
Exactly. Reduced the load, kept the light coming through. Pretty smart solution, really.
But even with repairs, the mid-20th century wasn't kind to the station. A period of decline.
Yeah, like a lot of grand old buildings back then. Maintenance issues, things started to deteriorate, transport needs were changing.
And safety became a concern. Falling masonry.
Seriously, the sources mention incidents in the 1950s. Imagine standing on the platform looking up, wondering.
Yeah, that sounds awful. And it got so bad that demolition was actually on the table.
Believe it or not, yes. In that push for modernization, tearing down the railway cathedral was a real possibility. Scary thought.
Wow. So what saved it?
People power, essentially. Public outcry, a growing appreciation for history, for architecture. It all came together.
And the crucial step.
Getting it listed as a protected monument in 1975, that was the turning point. Saved it from the wrecking ball and paved the way for, well, a rebirth.
The Renaissance.
Yeah.
A huge renovation project, 1998 to 2007.
Massive. And really ambitious goals. They needed to bring in high-speed rail.
Which needs straighter tracks, different setups.
Exactly. And they needed to seriously increase capacity. The station was just overwhelmed.
And the solution was pretty drastic, going underground.
Totally. Excavating that 3.8-kilometer tunnel under the station and the city, that was the absolute game changer.
Because it turned it from a terminus
A dead end where trains had to reverse out.
into a through station. Trains could go straight through.
Right, and by digging down, adding 2 new underground levels with platforms, boom, they basically quadrupled the capacity.
That's incredible engineering, managing to build all that underneath while keeping the historic building intact above.
It's widely seen as a masterpiece of balancing preservation with modern needs. It even won awards for it.
Yeah, the Europa Nostra Award in 2011. Quite the recognition.
It really showed what was possible. So what does this all mean for the station today? What's it like now?
Well, from what we're reading, it's this incredibly lively hub, both for transport and just as a place to be.
Yeah, it's got all the modern stuff, ticketing, shops, food, luggage storage, everything you'd expect.
And accessibility seems key now. Lifts, escalators, help for people with mobility issues.
Which is great, making it usable for everyone, but it hasn't lost that wow factor.
No, the grandeur is still there. Apparently it hosts cultural events sometimes.
Yeah, exhibitions, things like that. It's more than just functional. It's still a landmark, consistently ranked as one of the world's most beautiful stations.
It really is a testament to adaptability, isn't it? Seeing how it's changed. What really stands out to you about this whole transformation?
Well, connecting it to the bigger picture, its future role seems really tied into sustainable transport, sustainable cities.
Makes sense. With that location and capacity, it must be crucial for getting people onto trains and off the roads.
Definitely supports reducing car dependency, and the sources mention its integration with cycling too.
Bike rentals, parking. Encouraging that train plus bike journey.
Exactly, multimodal travel. And they're apparently still investing, looking at energy efficiency, improving the passenger experience further.
So it keeps evolving.
It does. It really embodies that blend deep history and looking forward. A symbol of Antwerp's past and a gateway to its future.
So there you have it. The incredible layered story of Antwerp Central, pulled from these sources. From that simple wooden shed
Through incredible grandeur, surviving war, dodging demolition.
to being reborn as this celebrated modern hub that still honors its history. It's quite the journey.
It really is a powerful example of how historic infrastructure can be adapted, you know? Preservation and progress working together.
It makes you think, doesn't it? How a building like this reflects what society values at different times. First, it was all about showing off wealth and power.
Then maybe efficiency, even if it meant destroying the past.
Then a shift towards valuing history, fighting to preserve it.
And now it's about connectivity, sustainability, capacity for the future.
How do those choices, made over more than a century, still shape Antwerp and how people move through it today? Something to really mull over.